we've got basketball at Oracle Arena, the home of the Warriors in Oakland, California. Live on 2K Sports. Glad to have you with us for more NBA action. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Take a look at the Spurs.
This is a special matchup. I mean, we got here tonight. Two rival franchises. A lot of history between the two. Yeah, and some bad blood. So let's just see how all this adds up in terms of drama.
And guys, I think if you ask them, as far as they're concerned, this game counts twice in the standings. I mean, it carries that kind of weight. It really holds that kind of significance for both of them.
All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. On the court for San Antonio. Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Duncan out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Leonard in the three spot. Again, Curry missing.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
This is 2K Sports broadcasting from San Antonio as the Spurs take it to the hardwood here at the AT&T Center. A good game here would get this road trip started confidently for the Cavaliers. Well, they're certainly excited about this one, and they'll be laying it all on the line as the intensity is palpable. Two top caliber teams face it off on the hardwood to do battle.
And they are who we thought they'd be coming into the season, no doubt about that. A team with a lot of talent that can win really in a number of ways. They've been every bit as formidable as we anticipated.
Well, you heard Dennis Green years ago say, we are what our record says we are. They've earned their place among the league's elite teams. But regular season is regular season. Success counts very little when it comes to the playoffs. So that's how they'll be evaluated. They'll be forgiven for looking ahead to the playoffs. I think they're going to rise to the challenge once again.
All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. So on the floor for Cleveland. Down low, it's Love and Mozgov. J.R. Smith and LeBron at the 2 and 3. And it's Irving at the 5.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Defeated by the Pacers in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
Yeah, just frustrated by their lack of production offensively, and I can't blame them. I mean, they're getting the looks, but the shots just aren't falling.
Yeah, and the slump that they're having shooting the ball can take its toll on you if you're not mentally strong. So I like this time out here to try to get those guys reset and refocused.
One more time, keep it going for your Silver Dancers.
Spurs have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Here's Aldridge. It's Parker outside. San Antonio again missing.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 falling.
It's a clear look at the hoop. He doesn't miss many of those.
And there's the call on James. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
Leonard kicks to Aldridge. Oh, and that one, no questions, powered it down.
Solid work on the back end of that play.
Yeah, finish hard with 2 hands on the stuff.
Yeah, nothing extravagant, guys, but again, no need on that one. And really a good job spotting his teammate near the bucket and then just pinpoint passing for the finish.
Irving dishes to James. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Now here's Mozgov. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. 6 to shoot. And the rebound goes to Duncan.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league. I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Leonard, no luck. The Cavaliers leading by 3. And Greg, you know, for Popovich being with the Spurs for so long, since 1996, Clark, he is actually the longest tenured coach in all of sports right now.
Amazing, Kevin, and he's done it through winning. I mean, the 3rd fastest coach ever to get to 1,000 wins. You compare his numbers with any coach in any sport, and they stack up as Hall of Fame caliber.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Love. Jefferson comes in for James. Amon Shumpert's checked in for Smith. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Kyrie Irving. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. Channing Frye's checked in for Cleveland. Right side Jefferson. Here's Dellavedova, covered by Mills. Got it. Nice one there from Dellavedova. Dellavedova's got his first points of the night.
That's a nice job of getting the ball in the paint and burying the shot. That's exactly how it's done.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
Now here's Jefferson. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. And it's Thompson with the jam.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Shumpert. Got a hand on it. And here's Anderson for 3. And a rebound goes to the Cavaliers. They come into this one following the loss to the Grizzlies. And that does it for the first quarter. Cavaliers ahead, up 6. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. We welcome you back to Noche Latina. Becoming an annual tradition is always here on 2K Sports, and always exciting. And taking a look at the Cavaliers' performance here, what do you guys see?
I just don't know that you're going to see a better quarter defensively than what we saw in the first.
Really a big part of why they're on top here. The defense has been on point.
On the floor for Cleveland, getting going here in the second. They've got Jefferson. Tristan Thompson is out there with Kevin Love. Then there's Amon Shumpert, and it's Irving in at the point. Near the three-point line, it's Love. Thompson with the bucket.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
To the left side wing. And here's Anderson for 3. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
The offense has a better flow, and it actually looks better here in the second quarter.
It does. They're playing with a little bit more bounce in their step and trying to close this gap.
Irving drives in. Love the pass to Thompson. Here's Simmons. A different look now for Cleveland. Mozgov comes in for Tristan Thompson. And J.R. Smith's subbed in for Richard Jefferson. The Cavaliers leading by 4. Here's Love. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Love's got 5 now.
Yeah, that's asking a lot from that defender.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, he just doesn't have the size to really be effective in that kind of matchup.
Now, here is Irving. His scoring totals are something to take note of. He's averaging over 19 points a game. Here's Diaw. The three-pointer is right on target. Diaw's got 5 points now this quarter.
Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been three-pointers.
And clearly it's about how poorly the defense has played. They've got to close out faster.
Now here's Irving. On the wing, Shumpert. The 17-footer. The offensive rebound. The Spurs have gotten 4 of their first 5 shots to fall in the second quarter. Outstanding shooting.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers.
Cannot be happy with how things have gone during this run. I think it's a good decision to take a break.
Yeah, I agree with you, Greg. I mean, he had to do something. They're getting buffaloed and beat up. He couldn't let that continue. He had to call the timeout there.
So both teams making some changes here. Quarter two and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Irving with the ball. Now Green defending. Leonard with the steal.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
Yeah, but hey. He's an athlete, and I can't fault him for that one, although if he missed it, I might have. And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And, Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
A different look now for Cleveland. Channing Frye's checked in for Love. And it's Matthew Dellavedova in for Irving. San Antonio leading by 3. Outside Aldridge. Shot from free throw range. Cavaliers with the rebound. Last time they met in Cleveland.
And the last time they faced this club, rebounding was their big advantage.
Clearly, that was the overriding factor. A double-digit advantage on the boards. They just pounded them inside.
Leonard attacking, and he's able to get it back. Now here's Parker. He's covered closely. And the pass to Green.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
And Cleveland making a change here. Thompson's checked in.
He has such terrific form and consistency on his free throws. Beautiful to watch.
To the inside. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Some hang time on that rim puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
And also the other on its heels. Let's see how this one turns out.
Here's Aldridge, and Thompson sends it back. LeBron drives in, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Tim Duncan picks one up.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the official.
Jefferson's checked in for Cleveland.
They should be in front right now, but he'll be relieved not to have come up totally empty there.
Feeds it to Duncan.
That is up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate in the open court when a steal triggers the break.
And really, basketball is about rhythm, and that allows your offense to flow better. Now let's see if they can build on it and keep this lead.
In transition, here come the Spurs. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Spurs lead by 2. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half.
Here we go, San Antonio.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. What can you say? LeBron James, what an impressive effort today.
And the thing I noticed most in that first half was his offense. He was not wasteful with his opportunities and also did a great job of converting with the chances he had.
I agree with you, Greg. Judicious shot selection. All of his looks were good looks.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. What can you say? LeBron James, what an impressive effort today.
And in terms of points in that first half, you know, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
And, Greg, that tells you all you need to know about what a talent he is. I mean, I'll bet he adds a lot more to his totals after the break.
Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Aldridge out there with Duncan. And it's Leonard in the small forward position. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. Back to Duncan. Off the pick. And a strong finish with two hands.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
The Spurs have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line. The Cavaliers trail by 6. Kicks to Love. It's tipped. It's stolen by Green. Down low. And Aldridge slams it in.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
A little over a minute gone here in the second half. Irving kicks to Love. He feeds it to LeBron. Back to Love. Clock at 6. On its way from Irving for 2. And it's out of bounds. The Cavaliers able to retain possession here. Come on, Shumpert's checked in for James. Dives for it. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it. While we can, let's have a peek at the league's top foul shooting teams over the course of the last month. The Spurs second.
Kevin, I'm absolutely amazed. I mean, their production at the line has been spectacular. I mean, it's been unbelievable. Well done by these guys of late.
San Antonio leading by 8. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Boom, he jams it straight down.
As the lead continues to grow, this is just heady, sound basketball.
You know, whatever they chopped it up about during the break, it's worked. I mean, they've really been excellent in their execution since halftime.
That's a 2 from Parker. Mozgov grabs the board. Mozgov's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
4 for 5 so far. That's their first miss of the second half.
A 3 from Leonard. Love grabs the board. The Cavaliers trail by 10. Here's Irving. Shot is good off the back rim and in.
That is a very low percentage shot, Kevin, but it's the result they were looking for at the end of the day.
Leonard on the wing. Mozgov with the steal. Shumpert against Parker. Back to Shumpert. Wide open. Goes back up. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
These past few weeks, you can see how San Antonio stacks up. First in field goal percentage. First in free throw percentage. And they're number 2 in rejections. This is a team that thrives on blocking shots and takes great pride in it.
You said it all right there. The hottest shooting team in the league. And that tells you not only are they shooting it well, but they're also focused on creating terrific opportunities for one another.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. And that one's good. Simmons.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here. Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush.
Here's Dellavedova. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. San Antonio leading by 6. Here's Simmons. Drills the three-pointer. Simmons got 5 points now in the quarter.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor.
And it's Thompson with the jam.
You know, he's not your typical NBA center in terms of height, guys, but he plays as big as any of them, thanks to his incredible bounceability.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead in the cruelest way possible.
You're right. Those putback jams sting, don't they? My goodness.
Yeah, they really hurt you. I mean, the defense forces a miss and then can't rebound it and finish off the defense. They're hanging their heads in their chest now.
Channing Frye's checked in for the Cavaliers. James comes in for Richard Jefferson.
Well, for one, he hasn't let them down. I mean, but a few other guys need to pick up the pace if they're going to be good.
Anderson dishes to Diaw. Simmons passes to Anderson. There's the three. That drops. Anderson's got the lead up to 10 now for the Spurs.
Clock is clearly on their side.
Exactly, and they can hold it for the last shot, and I think they will.
Hills with it. He got it up. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. It's San Antonio up by 10. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway. Well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. Spurs leading by 10. So on the floor for Cleveland, Dellavedova and Smith are the guard tandem. LeBron James is out there with Channing Frye. And it's Thompson in at the 5. No good from Simmons.
Well, what appeared to be an easy 2 points just never materialized.
J.R. Smith on the wing. Cleveland moving the ball around. And that's good for Channing Frye from 3. Frye's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the Cavs. And here's Anderson from the arc.
Not good shot selection. Long range and the defender all up in your jersey.
And, you know, that's just the kind of defensive work he's known for. I mean, he can take that shot away from you and does it more times than not.
Pass to Simmons. Here's Marjanovic, covered by Smith. Diaw battles through traffic and lays it in. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Spurs.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
They have, but you also can't overlook how well they've defended the rim, as they've challenged every shot and also gotten quite a few blocks as well.
Timeout called the Cavaliers.
Way too many shots in close, and he's got to get his guys to cut that down in terms of points in the paint.
Clearly the reason for the timeout, Greg. I mean, he wants his guys to toughen up inside and start protecting the rim.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Thank you, Kevin. I got a chance to hear what the Cavaliers head coach was saying to his team. The three-pointers obviously have been hurting them, and he told his players, we've simply got to play them tighter on the perimeter. We can't afford to give them these wide-open looks. Kevin?
Cutting into the lead with a huge one-hand throwdown.
That's how to get your team back into it.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, guys, that might also put a little spark into those guys.
Aldridge, good. The Cavaliers trail by 11. The drive by James.
Well, you know, he's not a guy that's just going to settle for pulling up. When he has an opportunity, he's going to take it strong to the hoop.
And here's Leonard from 3. Mozgov with the block. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Mozgov. Mozgov against Aldridge. From deep.
And he's trying to shoot his way out of it. You know, they have the lead, but honestly, I think it might help if he'd be a little bit more selective tonight.
Smith, no good. Spurs leading by 9. No one near him. Mozgov kicks to Dellavedova. And there's the feed to James. And they double him up with LeBron. Here's Mozgov. Duncan with the block.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Kyrie Irving's checked in for Cleveland. The Cavaliers trail by 9. And it's good. 15 points for LeBron.
Almost an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender can't give up that much of a height advantage and expect to contest it. And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Back to Love. Inside. And he slams it one-handed.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
The drive by James. No good with the layup. On the road looking for a win against a Western Conference rival. The San Antonio Spurs are ready for this thing to get started. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Noche Latina, the NBA's celebration of the Latin heritage, both among its players and fans. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and on the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. It's a one-game reprieve at home for the Rockets, here with their Houston fans, then back on the road.
Yeah, and as far as the regular season goes, this is as good as it gets. This truly, to me, is the definition of a rivalry. The game between these two teams has always been special.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen a ton of great games between them in the past. It's hard not to get amped up when they face each other. I've been looking forward to this one for a while.
A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. The always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Duncan is up there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Leonard in at the 3 slot.
And he gives that rim a good tug on the way down.
That's how you drive your point home.
I tell you what, he's lucky on that one that he got away with maybe not picking up a tee.
Now here's Beverly. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Kicks it out to Harden. Great D that time from Leonard. Last game for Houston, they picked up the win against Toronto.
And they ran their offense nearly to perfection in that one. Very few possessions were wasted.
Yeah, they put the mute button on them that time. I mean, in front of a hostile crowd, they never let the fans get going. They silenced them over and over again with big, timely shots.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
Here's Aldridge. James Harden picking up that last basket.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint. And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
No good. Great D that time from Green. And the Spurs pushing it up now. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got 3 assists in the game. Pass to Montejunas. And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. 6 to shoot. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. Rockets have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
And, Kevin, it's something they've been working very hard to correct and to change. I mean, they know how important it is to fix that inability at the free throw line.
Smith checked in for Houston. Brewer comes in for Trevor Ariza. And the basket by Brewer. Brewer's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
He can be a weapon if he gets going early from long range. And the Rockets have lost out on some free agent wars the past few years. They have remained competitive, but you wonder what could have been if they landed or kept some of those big names.
And with the Rockets, it's no secret that they take a very analytical approach to team building. Greg, you and I talked about that. And Clark, you know, you wonder if that hurts them in free agency.
Well, you know, when your front office makes no qualms about viewing players as simply just assets, it can be a hard sell to a free agent.
Harden, no good.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
And Green gets it to go.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
To the inside. And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
Well, he's an undersized center, but he more than makes up for it with some serious leaping ability.
Pass to Aldridge. Josh Smith pulls it in.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Harden kicks to Capella. Great D that time from Leonard. There's Green with the 3. Rockets with the rebound. Capella kicks to Harden. No luck. Great D that time from Leonard.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
From downtown. That's good, and he's now 3 for 4 from the field.
You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, you just don't know how to play him.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And Capella sends it back. Leonard, the pass to Parker. Back to Leonard. Another shot. And that one's good. Leonard's got 9. And it's slammed in by Smith.
Pretty passing. Timely recognition as to where the open man was.
The Spurs shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. And the first one drops. Both shots good from the stripe. Just 4 seconds left to play here in the first. Capella. The first quarter all wrapped up, and it's been an exciting game so far. Spurs.
All right, Houston, coming on the court, Rockets.
We welcome you back to Noche Latina. Becoming an annual tradition is always here on 2K Sports, and always exciting. And guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
They seem to be a step slower, and that's one reason why they've been able to own the rebounding edge.
Well, the anticipation's been better. As the ball hits the rim, it's gone right to them. Solid job of them chasing it down and anticipating it.
On the court for San Antonio here in the second. We've got Boris Diaw. He's out there with Anderson. And it's Mills in at the point.
Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3-ball with one of their own.
Greg, we got a 3-point battle taking shape here.
And he gets it to go.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the 3-point shot.
And it's killing them. 4 of the last 5 makes coming from long range.
Now here's Beverly. The dish to Brewer. The pass to Beverly. Shot clock at 5. And it's slammed in by Howard.
Went for the 2-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas. The defense a step slow, and you can see the results.
Greg, that's 3 in a row from out there now, so they've got to do a better job contesting.
Ariza no luck.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
Here's Mills. 7-point game, the biggest lead in the game. And that one's good. Simmons.
And guys, when you watch the Spurs play, it's like watching poetry in motion. I mean, every cut, every screen comes at a precise time, and they play beyond the sum of their talents because of that style.
Ariza goes in. Does not find the basket. His 3rd miss. He's made just 1 so far. To the wing right side. And here's Anderson from the arc. Down low. Here's Simmons. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Spurs do have a beautiful play style, and their offensive numbers show it, Greg. You're right there. One of the most fluid teams I can recall, Clark, in the NBA with their ball movements.
A joy to watch. I mean, they ended up top 5 in shooting percentage last year, as well as top 5 in assists.
And Houston calls their first time out of the game.
Just trying to get a break in the action to clear some heads here. I mean, they've gone ice cold, and not a bad idea to give them a little quick breather.
Yeah, they needed the timeout here. Anything to try to get them to forget about the missed shots and get themselves back on track.
The Spurs making a switch here. Green's checked in. Beverly dishes to Brewer. It's Howard with the drive. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
James Harden, he's checked in for Houston. And both free throws good for Howard. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Parker kicks to Green. San Antonio again missing. Passes it to Brewer. Leonard with the steal. And now running up the court. Leonard pushing it up. Howard down with both hands.
And how about that one-man fast break?
I love the power finish at the end of it, too.
It's stolen by Duncan. Down low. Leonard the pass to Parker. Stolen by Beverly. It's Harden with the drive. That's good. And so Howard with the assist. Harden's got his second bucket of the night.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
Brewer's shot is off.
I still can't believe that one didn't fall.
And Motiejunas picks up the foul. That's his first foul. So for the Rockets, Capella's checked in, and it's Smith in for Motiejunas. Here's Green. Misses off the right iron.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling. Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it. Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, you may not be as lucky next time down if you're the defense. You cannot allow him to get those kinds of looks.
Leonard with the steal. To the paint. Here's Duncan. And a missed layup. Rockets trailed by 10. Got a piece of it. Here's Green.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there. Boy, he's just dangling from the rim after sending it through there.
You can see which team now has the swagger Clark right now.
Yeah, it's with them.
And guys, that swagger.
And we've reached halftime in this one. It's the Spurs leading by 14. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a moment. And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys? His shot selection was just perfect.
I agree. I mean, whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he is taking only what the defense is giving him and not trying to do too much. Very much playing within himself.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first two quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
He was just like a jitterbug out there. I mean, disrupting passes, getting his hands on a lot of balls, forcing turnovers and steals. Just a solid job all the way around.
Like to watch him play like that. Makes the game so much more interesting.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like Greg Anthony in the day. A jitterbug or maybe a gnat with the kind of nuisance he's been as far as defending. Excellent work at that end of the floor for him.
And Kevin Clark's the only guy I know that can call you a gnat and mean it as a compliment.
And make you feel good about it.
I appreciate that, Clark.
It's good, Clark. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. So on the floor for Houston, Motiejunas and Howard the post pair. Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. And it's Beverly in at the point. Ariza with it. He's picked up by Parker. Ariza kicks to Moniunas. And now it's Leonard running. Here we go, all the way.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Great point. I mean, that aggression has allowed them to just create a lot of havoc. And boy, are they taking advantage.
Rockets have been good at the line so far, 5 of 5.
And for a long time in the NBA, the stretch four was kind of the anomaly and not the standard. Now it seems that you are the rare power forward if you can't hit a three. Very few traditional power forwards now in the NBA.
Parker kicks to Aldridge. Moniunas with the steal. Here's Ariza. And he goes in for the dunk.
Grown man's power flush with the long hang on the rim at the end of it.
Clark, that could be a catalyst for him.
I think you're right.
And when we've seen those kinds of plays get them fired up in the past.
Back to Parker. It's tipped. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Beverly. Let's take a look now at some of the teams that have been blocking shots by the truckload since the All-Star break. In the third spot, the Spurs.
Kevin, they've had a terrific inside game since the halfway point of the season, especially in terms of defense because they've protected the paint and everybody's been on the same page.
Into the third we go. 2 minutes in now. Nice job coming off that screen. And it's 6 points for Parker.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
And now in transition is Parker. Here we go.
How about the quick hands on the steal and the quick feet on the break?
Yeah, a careless, silly mistake there, though. I mean, coughing the ball up and then not being quick enough to get back on defense, that's costly.
Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. The Rockets have gone a perfect 7 of 7 from the line tonight. And the technical free throw is good.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Capella's checked in. Smith comes in for Moniunas. Corey Brewer's checked in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Terrian for Patrick Beverly.
That one was solid. There's a big difference in the field goal percentages between these two teams here in the second half.
And, Greg, that difference has come about because we've got one team moving crisply, getting good shots, and the other is just kind of stagnant.
Well, as Greg was just talking about, the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammond, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And Clark, you know, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
Good on the second free throw. Spurs leading by 18. Dishes it to Simmons. The three from Anderson. That's good. Anderson's got 5.
There's been a huge discrepancy between these teams in their effectiveness from the three-point line.
It has been pronounced, no doubt about it. Definitely a big factor to this point in the game.
And it's slammed in by Smith.
How about the excitement right now that he's playing the game with? I love it.
He capped that dunk off with some serious hang time on the rim.
I tell you what, he just couldn't contain himself on that one.
The Spurs shooting their 6th attempt at the charity stripe in the game.
And they've done some really nice work at the foul line, knocking down 80%.
One of the things they've done, guys, is taken pride in their free throw shooting this season, and rightfully so.
And Mills kicks to Anderson. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. .105 left in the third quarter. Here's Simmons. Josh Smith pulls it in.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Boy, he picked him out brilliantly with that feed inside.
San Antonio leading by 18. There's 45 seconds left to play in the third. Feeds it to Simmons. Here's Marjanovic, guarded by Harden. And the shot is good.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt. And here's Anderson from the arc. Second shot opportunity. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Smith's got his third rebound on the night. Kicks it out to Harden. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Harden's got 6 in the quarter.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
Here's Simmons. That 3 off target had some space there after the little pump fake. And as we end the... And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. Rockets trail by 16. On the court for San Antonio. Defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wings. Aldridge out there with Duncan. And it's Parker in at the point guard position. No good from Howard. And San Antonio shooting has just been outstanding tonight. 56% as a team in this game. Aldridge dishes to Green. Green missing again.
He's not exactly striping them from deep. He had 1 3-ball in the first half. Still bageled in the second.
But they recover it. Ariza kicks to Howard. Oh, and the dunk by Howard.
Even when they're down, he's still looking to do the spectacular. And he pulled it off.
Well, maybe this is the best time to do it.
I agree. I mean, now's when you need a spark, something electric to get your teammates fired up.
Kicks it out to Terry. Over to the wing. Houston moving the ball around. And he gets it to go. 10 points for Howard.
They've raised their field goal percentage just above 50% here. They actually look like a totally different team than what we saw in the first half. Much better execution offensively.
Well, if you're going to give them layups, there's no way you're going to get back in this game.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
I thought we might see the defense adjust at halftime to slow the break, but that has not been the case.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnovers.
To the wing on the left. Aldridge, the pass to Parker. It's Aldridge penetrating.
That's leadership. Really, really valuable to have someone who can just take charge like he has.
Well, there's a certain amount of confidence you have when the ball is in his hands at that end of the floor right now. I mean, he just gives you a sense of calm and confidence because of how good he is.
Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Terry dishes to Ariza. To the middle. Aldridge with the block. Clock at 6. Goes back up.
And you know what? He's just not on his game. No doubt about it. They're definitely
The Warriors have a Western Conference contest on their hands as they prepare to defend home court here at the Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. And it's another road game for the Spurs.
It's go time. Now, these are two teams whose rivalry goes way back, and anytime they renew it, the fans, as well as all that are involved, are going to be in for a treat.
I like that. Go time. That's a good way to put it. I mean, this will be a testy encounter between these two. The build-up to the game has been extremely intense. I think everybody's expecting some kind of volatility to erupt on the floor today.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the court for San Antonio, Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Duncan is up there with LaMarcus Aldridge, and it's Leonard in the 3 slot. Here is Parker after the made shot from Klay Thompson. Aldridge, no luck. Looking at the last game for the Golden State Warriors, it was a loss to the Lakers in Los Angeles.
And you don't have to go too deep into the box score to figure out why they lost that one. They just had an inability on that day to make shots.
You know, sometimes we talk about a defense getting into the heads of the opposing players, Greg, but that night they got up in their own heads, just got in their own way and couldn't get out of it.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Green passes to Duncan. From deep. And Green with the basket on the assist from Duncan. Green's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Well, the Spurs just don't go on losing streaks very often, Greg. One perk of being a talented veteran group.
Yeah, how about the Spurs lost 4 games in a row twice last year. Over the last decade before that, Kevin, they had only lost 4 games in a row twice. Unbelievable.
Last outing for San Antonio, it was a loss to Indiana. It's Parker outside. Curry was a nice D. And Thompson kicks to Curry. Good. Curry's got his first basket.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Aldridge dishes to Duncan.
And guys, one thing that we were treated with last year was Steve Kerr's great quotability in post-game interviews and pressers. He said all the right things and deflected praise like a coach who had done it for many years.
They should be in front right now, but he'll be relieved not to have come up totally empty there.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense, but he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Once again off the mark by San Antonio. And Kerr is so good with the media because, Greg, he was a media member himself for so long. You know that as well as anybody. Clark, I don't think he ever tried his hand at broadcasting, though. I can't see him doing that, could you?
Yeah, right,
no,
right.
My goodness.
Rarely contribute anything of note. Some guys have what it takes to call games,
yeah.
And Steve just doesn't quite scratch me as that kind of guy.
No. So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Mills with it, and Curry picks him up defensively. Diaw can't hit. And it's the Warriors' ball. They're on a 12-4 run right now.
Oh, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
And getting to the 10 has been the key. They're getting point-blank looks time and time again.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
Yeah, none too pleased with the play of his team. And you know what? They just need to get things sorted out.
Yeah, you know, there's not a coach around who would be happy with the way his guys have kind of rolled over during this run.
Yeah, just frustrated by their lack of production offensively, and I can't blame them. I mean, they're getting the looks, but the shots just aren't falling.
Yeah, and the slump that they're having shooting the ball can take its toll on you if you're not mentally strong. And so I like this timeout here to try to get those guys reset and refocused.
And some changes here for the Warriors. Varejao comes in for Andrew Bogut. And it's Rush in for Harrison Barnes. Here's Rush. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as...
São Paris, São Paulo, França, Brasil. Aí, MSP, Laboratório Fantasma. É nóis. Assim,
os manos no posto, trampando a contragosto, feliz ou oposto. Aposto que sei da dureza, que é a tristeza, deformando o seu rosto. Se calos falassem, talvez o mundo escutasse, olhar do impasse, olhasse, limpasse, brilhavam vocês. Juro, pras minas no fronte, que dor pra contar tem de monte. É tipo uma fonte dela, de fronte ela sonha com um novo horizonte, trancada na cela ou numa favela. Medo é foda, João. Pobre menina, sofre de verdade por toda a cidade, ainda mais do que a palavra liberdade é feminina.
And welcome everyone to another presentation of the NBA. On 2K Sports. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, joined by my partners Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. We're in the Phillips Arena. The Hawks here in Atlanta playing before their hometown crowd. So Atlanta will get the first possession. A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. The always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Aldridge out there with Kawhi Leonard. And it's Duncan in the center position.
And for a power forward, he can sure get up. I mean, because of that leaping ability, it kind of offsets his height disadvantage.
And guys, as a second-round pick, Danny Green was once an afterthought out of North Carolina. Now, he's one of the most dangerous three-point shooters in the league.
You're right, Kevin. Throughout last season, and 42% from beyond the arc for his career. And great consistency, too. He's been over 41 every season for the past 4.
Nice pass that time. What excellent vision by Jeff Teague out there.
Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Outside Millsap. Back to Teague. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
And really, he epitomizes what a point guard should be. I mean, his skills as a passer might actually be matched by that creativity he shows around the rim.
Well, judging by that jam, Greg, I'd say you're absolutely right.
Boy, that's a nice surge for them just when they needed it in a game that was so tight.
To the middle. Now, here's Horford. That's good.
Good job threading that pass into the lane. I like his vision, guys. He sees everything.
Passes it to Parker. Over in the corner, Green. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, and they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though. Although, had they won the last game, instead of being the 6th, they would have been the 2nd.
Right.
Didn't have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
Inside, here's Teague. Green with the block.
Not a problem when that's your first miss of the game. Strong start.
Boy, that was a thing of beauty by Parker. And against the Clippers, the Spurs didn't have home court advantage. I mean, ended up playing a big part in that series. They ended up losing in Game 7 in Staples with some questionable timekeeping, but that's not why they lost.
Just couldn't get a hand in the face on that one.
That's using what you got. He's got a height advantage, put it to good use there, and got himself a clean look.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie. And that Spurs series sure didn't feel like a first-round matchup. I mean, you could have easily have seen either team playing for the title, regardless of who won the series. Both teams acknowledged that it felt like a conference finals matchup.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup for them. Well, I tell you what, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders. They're not getting the job done.
That's a great point. 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed have come at the rim.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Teague kicks to Horford. Back to Teague. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
And that is a major league. Flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
You're exactly right. I mean, so often when the team gets that kind of explosive play out of its backcourt, that can really rally and galvanize the whole squad.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Last year, a good one for Jeff Teague, Clark. He was a first-time All-Star in this league.
He's a pick-and-roll technician, so good in reading the defense as he operates from that spot on the floor. He was really the catalyst for what was a really efficient offense for the Hawks.
And the Hawks with a completely new group on the floor. And it's out of bounds to the Hawks as Atlanta retains possession.
And you know what, just a little too much heat on that pass for him to come up with the steal.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that was going to be a tough catch for either one of them.
And Atlanta calls their first timeout of the game.
And Dennis Schroeder has drawn some comparisons to Rajon Rondo. Long arms, very quick and athletic. He's awfully tough to keep in front of you, but he's also a guy that can knock down a mid-range jump shot.
This Dennis Schroeder, in a lot of ways, like a Greg Anthony, very quick, very smart on the floor, but he's a young player. And he says, Clark, that he watched a lot of tape of Tony Parker to see how he got to the basket.
Yeah, and that's a great blueprint, especially when you consider the Hawks run a very similar system to the Spurs.
Kirk Heinrich, he's checked in for Mike Muscala. Atlanta with the ball. Schroeder passes to Heinrich. No good with the triple.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Better to be lucky than good sometimes. Fortunately, they didn't get burned on that one.
Guys back and forth this first half.
Well, 5 lead changes early on, guys, as we grapple back and forth.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
To the inside, Anderson. And the layup is good.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Here's Schroeder. We've got 33 seconds left in the first. The shot by Heinrich, no good.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
2 on none. No one back to stop this. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
And there's the pass to Simmons. Misses the 3. And so, lots of scoring in that competitive first quarter. It's the Spurs leading by just 1. And we'll be back right after this. And we welcome you back to the NBA here on 2K Sports. And we're ready to get going once more. The players having a chance to have a short break and get some rest themselves and get refueled and hydrated with some Gatorade. More terrific basketball in store for us tonight. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
Also, what passing we've seen from them here early. I mean, there could be a big number in the assist column if this keeps up.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the court for Atlanta, Dennis Schroeder is out there with Heinrich. Then there's Scott. Then there's Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Cephalosha in at the 4 slot. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
Yeah, really left him no choice there, Greg. I mean, he had the foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
Mills dishes to Diaw. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Diaw's got his second bucket.
And back and forth we go. That bucket gives us another lead change.
Too many of those to count. These teams have matched each other shot for shot, play for play. It has been impressive.
No shortage of drama here early on.
Well, neither team can grasp control of this thing. I mean, both teams trying to get a hold of it.
Yeah, 8 lead changes already. Huge number this early.
What are they thinking, leaving him with all that space out there? Do they not know? Have they not heard that this guy is unbelievable? That's a layup for him.
Now here's Mills. Hits the front of the rim and out.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them. That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
Mills with it. Millsap covering. And Kyle Korver picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Leonard, that's for 2. Here's Aldridge. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
And guys, remember LaMarcus Aldridge last January suffering a torn ligament in his thumb, scheduled to undergo surgery and miss 2 months of the season, but he opted to tough it out and keep playing. And boy, how big was that for the Blazers?
Korver to Bazemore. Very pretty alley-oop layup. And the Hawks lead by 2.
Soft touch on both ends of that pretty alley-oop.
You know, I got to say, Clark, when he threw the pass, I didn't know where it was going to go.
We saw it ended up right where it was supposed to, in the basket.
And guys, you know what? Neither did the defense. I don't think they had a clue.
And Aldridge postponing that thumb injury surgery, even though they said it might double his eventual recovery time.
Yeah, I think it's pretty admirable that he was out there because he wasn't just playing in pain. He was playing hurt. That shows you his commitment to winning.
Clark, he talked about a back-and-forth game. This is the definition of that.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Kevin. I mean, not even through the first half, and it's been one heck of a battle.
You have to love these kinds of games, scoring-wise, keeping everybody on their toes.
Tries again. Horford the pass to Teague. That doesn't go in either for Teague.
I think he was surprised by how much space he had there and just rushed the shot a little bit.
They get it back.
Well, it's just been one of those kind of games for him.
Duncan with the block. Outside Leonard. Pass to Duncan. Outside Green. Spurs working the ball around now. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Horford. There's 47 seconds left in the first half. Aldridge, no one around him. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got 3 assists in the game. Kicks to Bazemore. Teague against Green. There's the dish to Horford. And stolen by Aldridge. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Leonard's got the ball.
And I love the fact that he didn't try to take on the defense by himself. Great pass on the move.
From deep three-point range. Millsap dishes to Horford. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. Tim Duncan picks one up.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it. Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession.
Teague for 3. That misses. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Spurs lead by 4. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back just after halftime to start the third quarter. And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. Without question, Jeff Teague displaying his skills today.
How about the magic touch he had on display there in that first half in terms of finding his teammates? Just a plethora of assists.
Plethora, you're going deep into that dictionary of yours, man. It's not a common occurrence with this guy, though. Typically, he's more of a finisher, but that's not been the case in this one.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball.
You look at what Teague has done so far. He has 12 points and 4 assists.
On the court for San Antonio. Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Kawhi Leonard is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Duncan in at the pivot, manning the middle. And for LaMarcus Aldridge, always praised for his terrific shooting. His rebounding, as we know, Greg, has always been fantastic. Over the past 2 seasons, he's averaged double-digit boards.
And that's why so many teams wanted him in this last free agency period. His ability to put points on the board as well as clean the boards. What a deadly combination.
Now here is Aldridge. And Dennis Schroeder gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Atlanta on D. 6-point game. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making. 3 straight misses here to start the second half.
And here's Cephalosha for 3.
Oh, that's a tough three-point try when you've got the defense right there.
Well, he'd have to be really good to knock down a shot like that against that kind of defense. Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim. Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
Rejected by Millsap.
Well, that's a lot of bricks by them early in the second. Only 1 make on 5 tries so far in the second half.
And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here. Over a minute.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
The Hawks trail by 8.
You know, there was plenty to be happy about last year in Atlanta with the way the Hawks played. One sour note, though, was that the team was viewed as a potential buy for Seattle groups.
Now Parker. Jeff Teague missing from long range. Takes a 3. Parker's shot is off.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
Teague with the ball. He's picked up by Parker. And it's sent back by Aldridge. And stolen by Horford. And stolen by Aldridge. Millsap against Leonard. 3-pointer. And that one's good. Leonard's got 10 points. Well, last season, the Hawks not only had a great year on the floor as they were the top seed in the Eastern Conference, but they had a pretty good day at the bank, too. They sold for a nice price. Looks like the team is going to stay in Atlanta where it belongs.
Yeah, and that's great news for Atlanta, and they were rewarded with a terrific season. The group, including Grant Hill, purchased the Hogs, and obviously will keep that group in Atlanta for many years to come.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. And it's slammed in by T.
And sometimes when you want something done, you got to do it yourself. That dunk, the shot in the arm they need to really cut into that lead.
Well, Greg, it certainly got everybody on their bench up and off their seats and cheering.
Yeah, that could be an instant momentum shift. That certainly was a rim wrecker.
Here's Marjanovic. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. And the Spurs lead by 11. Teague takes it to Bazemore. It's tipped. We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Mills, that's a 2-pointer. And Diaw kicks to Mills. It's good. The assist that time from Diaw. Mills has got 6 points.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
Turnovers weren't a story for him early on, but that's changed. And now they're definitely having trouble keeping possession and momentum.
No good from Simmons.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
1:02 left to play here in the third. Teague kicks to Horford. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Last season we saw Al Horford rounding back into form. Good to see that after what had been his second season-ending pectoral muscle tear back in late 2013.
Exactly. I mean, the Hawks just had to bide their time while their best player was out. You saw once he returned, though, he makes a big difference for them.
And Mills kicks to Diao. No good from Simmons.
The mechanics totally out of whack right now. He's lost his feel for the shot.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, just totally out of sync. I mean, you can just see it in the numbers. Nothing going down for him right now.
Here's Bazemore. And that one is stuffed right through. Out to the right wing. And here's Anderson from the arc. Millsap grabs the miss. The Hawks trail by 10. Teague kicks to Millsap. Misses the layup.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
And so it's San Antonio with it. They've led by as many as 14 points. Here's Simmons. Good, and it's Diao with the assist that time.
For 3.
Simmons got himself on the board with 3 there. Here's Teague. No good trying to beat the buzzer. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. It's the Spurs. They lead by 13. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the 4th quarter. And we're getting underway here in the 4th quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. Scott is out there with Cephalosha. Then there's Heinrich. Then there's Dennis Schroeder. And it's Hardaway in the small forward position. So that's the Hawks 5. In a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Spurs.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And how about the work they're doing also on the offensive glass? Creating those extra opportunities has been critical.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Leonard with no one around. And he's good on the 3-ball.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the 3-point shot.
And they're not making up for it with their own shots from deep either, so that's a double-edged sword there.
And Green slams it in.
And the lead's not getting any smaller. Just an incredibly well-rounded performance here on the road.
And how good a feeling is that for this team to dominate the way they did in front of a hostile crowd? That is a satisfying feeling for the victors.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over.
And how good a playmaker has Tony Parker been? One of the best in recent history. The all-time leader in assists for the Spurs over his 14 years there. Just a crafty guy with the ball in his hand.
Teague, the pass to Horford. He kicks it to Horford.
Horford having just a fantastic game. He has 15 points and 2 blocks. He's been putting it up, and it's been going down 100% from the floor.
And Clark, I just love the supreme focus with which he's playing.
Free throw drops for Al Horford. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Here are the Spurs with the ball. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much. Right side, Aldridge. Kicks it out to Leonard. Launches a 3. The shot will not go. So the Hawks will take it the other way. And continuing our talk of Tony Parker, the first year he laced up his sneakers, he increased the tempo for that entire Spurs offense, and it continues to this day.
Yeah, and the increase in floor spacing and tempo, a big reason the Admiral, Tim Duncan, and Parker won the championship together in 2003, and obviously Duncan and Parker have won a few more rings since then.
The Hawks trail by 20. That's not as easy as he made it look, guys. You've got to have some skills to pull that baby off.
Well, he's got plenty of those skills necessary.
And you know what?
Man.
That man can climb a ladder.
T for three.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound.
This is not the slam dunk contest. You don't get do-overs. You got to finish the job.
And Al Horford is just a winner, guys. I mean, win 2 NCAA titles at his time playing for Florida. His teammates call him the Godfather because of how calm and quiet he is in terms of his leadership and the mentoring he provides. It's been the same here in the NBA. And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
Yeah, heat check or not, I don't care how hot he may or may not be. He's not making that one.
Now here's Korver after the miss from Tim Duncan. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Horford attacking. No good. Nice D from Duncan.
Atlanta foul call.
And that Florida team with Horford, Noah, and Corey Brewer, such a tight-knit group. All those guys still competing and defending at a very high level now in the NBA.
Each of those guys very team first in their approach. That's what they're about, winning. And because they've experienced championship winning, they stay locked in to that task.
Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Spurs.
Clark, the bench gave him a big lift in this game.
Yeah, you always like to see that, Kevin, when your reserves can perform and help you pull out a win.
No surprise here, just a big-time performance for Leonard. Every time there was a big possession or a big play, he was a major contributor. Just a great all-around game.
Teague dishes to Horford. Oh, and he's going up for the alley-oop here. And he stuffs that one.
And gobbled up that rebound and went straight into attack mode on the putback.
Oof, he is one of the most determined rebounders, Clark, we have got in the NBA.
Yeah, you're calling it right, Kevin. I mean, he gets so many second chance points because of how hard he works to get to the rebound.
Here is Korver following the score by Tony Parker. It's Millsap with the drive. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. It's on Kawhi Leonard.
And Paul Millsap, guys, the only player to lead the NCAA in rebounding 3 straight seasons back in college. A former second-round pick, was kind of slept on, but now clearly making his mark in the NBA.
Greg, you were talking about Millsap's ferocious rebounding. He battles inside, but Clark, he is so skilled.
Yeah, he's just really a good all-around basketball player. He can pass, handle, step out, and hit the three. Very, very versatile. He makes an impact on the game a lot of ways.
Here's Marjanovic, guarded by Korver. Dishes it to T. Korver kicks to Millsap. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense of that. Here's Marjanovic. And it's sent back by Horford. And so it's San Antonio, easily taking this one. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching. See you next time.
and they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Ludacris going in on the verse, cause I never been defeated and I won't stop now. Keep your hands up, get them in the sky for the homies that...
We're in San Antonio, Texas, the home of the Spurs, live on 2K Sports. We're all set to bring you NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and courtside Doris Burke. All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. On the court for Atlanta, Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. Teague and Korver are the guards. And it's Bazemore at the three-slot. And so it's the Hawks getting on the board first. There's the lob to the hoop.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
And Kyle Korver enjoying a career renaissance, if you will, here in his 30s. A former late second-round pick. He's kicked around the league a little bit. He's really found his niche here in the motion offense of the Atlanta Hawks.
Now here's Teague. Horford attacking. 4 on the clock. Duncan with the block. Outside Aldridge. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. A little background on Kyle Korver, drafted 51st by the Nets back in 2003. They sold his rights to the Sixers for a little over $100 grand and used the proceeds to pay for their summer league fee.
Well, that, and they also bought a new color copier for whatever that information is worth. It might sound like a mistake in hindsight, but I heard that machine is very reliable.
Horford. Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
The kick out to Aldridge. And the wide open shot from Green. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. Teague with a clean look. Green with the rebound.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
No good from Duncan.
That's a huge part of what they want to do defensively. Limit his easy chances inside.
And here comes Leonard leading the fast break.
Oh, that's a golden opportunity to finish on the break, and he blows it.
Yeah, at this level, you got to make that shot. It's plain and simple. You got to knock that one down.
Parker kicks to Green. From deep three-point range. Nothing that time. He's 0 for 2. Outside for Korver. Here's Horford. Can't get it to go. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. Green dishes to Aldridge. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line. For a while, the Spurs were viewed as a slow-it-down team from their championships almost a decade ago. That isn't the case at all anymore.
You know, I think it took the viewing public quite a while to catch on, though, Kevin, because now most people look at the Spurs as one of the more exciting brands of basketball in our league. Just watching one game of them, and now you know that is the case.
It's Parker outside. Good. Parker's got his first 3 points of the game.
You know what, guys? He can really light it up from the perimeter at times.
And a dunk by Horford.
You know, he might be small for a center, but it doesn't really matter because he can jump out of the building. Make it two hands for safety. That's what they say, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that's right. You got it. And he was ultra safe with that dunk.
No reason not to be.
And guys, as he should be. Remove all doubt on that attack. Now that's the way it's done. Take it up high and throw it down with everything you got.
That's right. Clark, he was not going to take the soft approach on that drive.
I would certainly hope not. I mean, you get that kind of opportunity with little resistance from the defense, you got to take it. Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
Here's Teague, following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. Millsap passes to Horford.
What a fantastic finish there on the break.
A textbook kickback to set up the easy finish.
Green kicks to Parker. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. The Hawks leading. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
There's 14 seconds left here in the first quarter. And Mills kicks to Simmons. Over to the wing. And here's Anderson from the arc. Bazemore.
He got it! Wow. He caught it! My goodness. What a terrific shot. Those Hail Mary buckets. Oh!
The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Hawks lead by 5. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And what do you guys think about the Hawks here in this one?
It's been a point of emphasis, no doubt, to make sure they attack the rim offensively.
I love the fact they're not settling for outside shots. Keep attacking that rack.
Anderson is out there with Boris Diaw. Then it's Mills. And it's Simmons in at the two-guard spot. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. There's the pass to Horford. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. And the foul goes against San Antonio. Millsap attacking. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
And for Kyle Anderson, he had so many traits, Greg, the Spurs were looking for when they drafted him back in 2014, but he spent pretty much the entire season on the pine.
Yeah, and you know that Coach Pop makes his guys earn their minutes. You know, he doesn't care if he took you in the first round or if you're an undrafted free agent. He's going to play the guy who helps his team win.
That's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Let's face it, the defense is a step slow. You've got to take away the airspace.
Right side Teague. He kicks to Horford. There's the dish to Millsap. Sinks that one from the post. Millsap's got 6.
You know, talking about Kyle Anderson, he's a bit of a polarizing prospect, has a multifaceted skill set. I mean, excellent court vision, outstanding length, doesn't have elite athleticism, absolutely needs to get stronger, but he's got a lot of game. They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
It's been a difference maker for them in this game. That's what's put them in front.
Pass to Mills. He feeds it to Diaw from downtown, and he gets the bucket. Diaw's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball.
And guys, getting back to Kyle Anderson, not a fit for every system. I mean, he's a guy who needs the ball in his hands to be effective, and he's much more of a facilitator than a finisher at this stage.
Here's Simmons. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. Hawks with a completely new group on the floor. The Hawks leading by 4. Schroeder with the ball. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
All of the scoring in tight is coming at that end of the court.
You know, they found the holes in the defense and really doing a great job of exploiting them.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he had great rhythm on that. You can see the disappointment in his face. You know what? Sometimes something good can come out of a bad possession.
Pass to Mills. The 3. And a clear foul there as he shot the triple. He'll go to the line for 3 free throws.
And guys, every time we think Patty Mills is going to take the next step in his development, he takes a step back. Last season, he shot career lows from the field and behind the arc after having one of his best ever campaigns the year before. That really just makes a coach pull his hair out. And fortunately, me, I don't have it.
Forget about going for the long-range bomb to cut into that lead. Just take it to the hoop, my friend. Take it to the hoop.
And how, Clark. Brilliant throwdown.
Just exerting his authority on that play.
An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
You know, there was plenty to be happy about last year in Atlanta with the way the Hawks played. One sour note, though, was that the team was viewed as a potential buy for Seattle group.
And Cephalosha with the jam.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Well, last season, the Hawks not only had a great year on the floor as they were the top seed in the Eastern Conference, but they had a pretty good day at the bank, too. They sold for a nice price. Looks like the team is going to stay in Atlanta where it belongs.
Yeah, and that's great news for Atlanta. They were rewarded with a terrific season. The group, including Grant Hill, purchased the Hawks, and obviously will keep that group in Atlanta for many years to come.
Leaps for it. It's stolen by Duncan. Lets it go with the 3. Misses his second shot in 4 attempts from the field. Heinrich kicks to Hardaway. Here's Cephalosha. And that's not going to go. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. It's Atlanta, up by 5. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third.
Slowing down Horford, no easy feat. 10 points, and he's created a lot of chances for his teammates also.
And Clark, some of those assists that he's got today have been just electric.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Al Horford has been sensational.
Yeah, the rebounding, particularly on the offensive side, as good as it gets. He was bringing the effort down low.
And I tell you what, that allowed him to get his team several multiple shot opportunities. His work on the offensive glass has been invaluable.
And so in the game for the Hawks, Teague and Korver are the guards. Millsap, the power forward, with Horford at the center. And it's Bazemore at the 3. Aldridge drives in, and that one's good. Aldridge has got 9.
Nice move and finish. I think the halftime break really gave him a second win.
Teague kicks to Millsap. 3-pointer. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Millsap. Second half just getting started. About a minute played. This season, Clark, the Spurs kept on winning as usual. They passed the Lakers, in fact, for the best winning percentage all time for a franchise.
Well, some of that has to do with the struggles the Lakers had last season, but more of it is credit to the Spurs. Consistency and high-quality play has been who they are and have been for 2 decades.
Teague kicks to Horford. Outside Korver. No good with the triple. Spurs trail by 5. Deflects the pass. And Teague, here we go. Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there. Teague's got his second bucket. Green kicks to Parker for 3. Another miss by Parker.
1 for 5 on offense. A slow start here in the second half.
And the foul called on Daniel Green. That's his first foul.
Man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
Teague dishes to Horford. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 3 assists now in this one.
In that tight, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense can do.
Leonard kicks to Parker. To the paint. Here's Aldridge. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor.
Yeah, Al Horford really has become one of those elite two-way big men. And that's very rare. You look at most bigs in the NBA, they excel at either one end or the other, but this is one of those guys that does it all.
And he makes both free throws. And Horford at 6'10", a natural power forward who's been pressed into duty at the center spot, but he holds his own on the low block.
He also does a really good job, Kevin, moving his feet and covering in space, covering the pick and roll. He's outstanding in that regard, which is important in today's game. He's got mobility and a high IQ.
Here's Simmons. Off target with his 3.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Dishes it to Horford. The layup off target.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Offensive rebound. And Boris Diaw picks up the foul. That's his first foul. The Hawks leading by 7. Outside Teague. Out to the right wing. It's Millsap with the drive. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. 10 points for Paul Millsap.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
A 3 from Anderson. And 1:01 left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Marjanovic. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Hawks.
Fantastic passing. We saw it in the first half, and it's carried over here in the second.
Well, they've also really been dialed in with their jump shot. I mean, they have not missed much from mid-range today.
The kick out to Teague. It's tipped. And the Spurs pushing it up now. Diaw can't hit. Fast break, the Hawks. Teague with the ball. Here's Bazemore. The rebound by the Spurs.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
Yeah, heat check or not, I don't care how hot he may or may not be. He's not making that one.
Here's Teague. Feeds to Horford. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot two. This is his second trip to the free throw line.
And taking a look back at last year's numbers, he's about a 76% shooter.
And Al Horford drops them both. Now here's Mills. Teague covering. Anderson. Rebounded by Korver.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
Yeah, it's got to be concerned with all the missed shots here. And every team goes through cold streaks. You just got to figure out a way to stay productive.
And the best way to do that when you're missing shots is to get to the foul line. Be aggressive, get to the foul line, and knock down some of those freebies, and the tide can turn for you.
And as we end the third quarter, a great game. Both teams playing well. Hawks lead by 5. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter coming up next. All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. The Hawks leading by 5. The always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Kawhi Leonard is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Duncan in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the San Antonio 5.
Nice little lead they're enjoying here, and they deserve it with all the work they put in on the glass.
Yeah, the effort and the aggression really favors them thus far. They've completely dominated the backboard.
Those are the kinds of plays that win you games. I mean, really savvy D, and give them credit for looking to go straight up court with it. No hesitation.
And that could be the KO right there.
Hawks have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Schroeder kicks to Scott. Duncan with the block. Pass to Green. Here's the 3. Rebound, Atlanta. And Heinrich riding the magic carpet all the way to the other end.
Their interior defense has been dismal.
Yeah, they're losing the battle in the paint.
Hardaway with the steal. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
And you know what? His mind's playing tricks on him right now because he's not going to live that one down easily.
Spurs trail by 11. There's the feed to Duncan. Leonard the pass to Parker. Ball's knocked loose. And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Parker.
Hawks ball.
Timeout.
Atlanta timeout.
Atlanta calls timeout. And, of course, Tony Parker, so big for San Antonio in those championship runs. But word on the street was that Spurs coach Greg Popovich didn't always go easy on Tony. He really pushed him to the limit.
Yeah, you know, it started back when Tony was invited to the Spurs summer camp before the 2001 draft. One of the scouts was really physical with Tony, really gave him a hard time, and that was really the start of his maturation process in learning to deal with the NBA.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over.
And, you know, getting back to Popovich's relationship with Tony Parker, Pop made the decision to draft Parker. So he obviously saw something. But Pop's a perfectionist, and if you're going to play point guard for him, you've got to deliver consistently.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Yes, guys, Mike Budenholzer had some words for his team. His advice clear-cut. I want to see you playing to win, not playing not to lose. I don't care what the lead is. We do not back off.
And talking about Tony Parker, Pop's tough love with him really paid off. Tony eventually became incredibly consistent, culminating with him being named the Finals MVP back in 07.
That's going to be over and back, not watching for the line that time.
You know, guys, the teamwork and rhythm we saw from them earlier just isn't there right now. They've lost it, and the turnovers are starting to pile up.
And they've controlled the boards, and that's a big reason why they're controlling the lead.
Yeah, they brought the sandpaper edge to their attack, really fighting and scrapping inside. A lot of grit and grind with these guys.
Spurs trail by 13. Green inside the three-point line. San Antonio again missing.
The mechanics totally out of whack right now. He's lost his feel for the shot.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, just totally out of sync. I mean, you can just see it in the numbers. Nothing going down for him right now.
6 on the shot clock. And that one's good. Schroeder.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
.149 left in the fourth quarter. Cephalosha misses. San Antonio's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. Schroeder with the ball. He's picked up by Parker and stolen by Aldridge. There's Green with the three. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker.
He's one of the few guys you don't mind seeing take the three in transition.
Schroeder kicks to Scott. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Clark, one thing about the Hawks last year is they were very strong on the road, as you could have guessed.
Yeah, but Kevin, they struggled a little bit down the stretch on the road, but still managed to have the best road record in the East.
And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Paul Millsap's checked in for Cephalosha. Ken Bazemore comes in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Kyle Korver, he's checked in for Kurt Heineken. And it's Teagan for Dennis Schroeder. And the call will be against Jeff Teague. Atlanta making a switch here. Horford's checked in. There's 1:17 left to play here in the fourth. Double team on Aldridge. And that one goes long.
And how about that road record for the Hawks? 25-16 last season. 9 of those wins came during that 19-game winning streak in early 2015. And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for Atlanta.
You're right, Steve, and they're fully in control now, but there were some tense moments, I thought, Clark, for them throughout this game.
No opportunity really to coast, although the score may appear that they did. I love the way they came together whenever things started to look bleak.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Al Horford. He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
Boy, you look at the Hawks, and they seem to be built to play on the road because they can survive a player having an off game. They're so deep and versatile. Team basketball is a lot less prone to go cold when you're on the road.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones.
And the first one drops.
Jeff Teague at the line for 2.
And so Teague hits 2 free throws. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Puts it up off the inbound. And they get it back.
Spurs foul call. Tim Duncan. At
The first free throw is good.
At the line for the Spurs, Kent Bazemore. Taking 2 shots.
And so Bazemore nails both of them. There's 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Kicks it to Leonard. It's tipped. Jumps up. And the slam dunk by Bazemore.
And the fans already heading for the exits, clearly not pleased with the way things turned out today.
Well, Greg, this was a well-deserved win. I mean, they came into this